Oh, hey.
Hey, Gordo.
Jordan, whoa.
Jordan Martin, your guest appearance.
I mean, we're going to talk about it later, but I guess we will now. One of the best, probably the best fourth line in hockey.
Is this guy still talking about this?
I mean, I
Tell him to stop.
Yeah, I know. We're never gonna be bad.
Sorry,
Put too much pressure.
Best second line in hockey?
Yeah, that is better.
Second line. Okay, wow. I didn't know we were going to have a cameo.
He's wearing green pants. I like that. Nice pants, Mark.
Some tough socks there.
Yeah, those are tough.
Holy jumping. Get dressed in the dark this morning? Boom. Guys, we're in beautiful Vancouver, probably the nicest city in North America, if not the world. It's where I spend my summers, not a big deal. Today we have an unbelievable episode of Road Trippin with Biz. By the end of it, you're going to think you watch an episode of TMZ. This guy is going to name drop the heck out of this episode, and I'm looking forward to it. Brad Richardson, ladies and gentlemen. Brad,
Paul?
Always good to meet my fans.
Sandwich. Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, good. That's nice. Being good's good.
You had a great draft year. You had 27 tucks that year in Owen Sound. I did my research. Okay. And then you get drafted, but you kind of got snubbed at the NHL draft.
A little bit, yeah. And funny story, my agent's like, yeah, you'll probably go in the first or second round. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to the draft, and it was in Nashville, I think you remember.
I was
Didn't
there.
go to the fifth round, so I was a little sour after. But you know what? It's funny because, you realize that when you get drafted, it doesn't matter where you get drafted, to be honest. It's just the work you got to put in to get to where you want to be. So,
well, you got a pretty good signing bonus out of it.
I mean, it was okay, yeah. Just some fun coupons.
One little fun fact that I remember was because you were drafted to Colorado and you went to training camp, they used to send you Joe Sakic's actual sticks. Now, they weren't the same pattern as they were in stores.
He was honestly my favorite player growing up, and kind of idolized him. So when I went to my first camp, literally I couldn't even breathe, but he was so nice to me, and I loved his pattern. So they just we'd love it, you can send them to you. So they were sending them to me all the time. I was pretty fortunate.
I remember how jealous everyone on the team was that you were getting Joe Sakic's actual sticks, and they were like a 60 flex, weren't they?
Honestly, got every shot they broke. You could honestly, it was so amazing. But they broke one a game, and I think they were getting a little pissed off. They had to keep sending them to me.
You didn't really spend much time in the minors right away. You played some games that your first year pro.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky. I got sent down after camp in the minors and got called up and played, the second half of the season in playoffs with Colorado. So that was pretty cool to get up and play right away. And then, it's one of those experiences, you're just having so much fun. And we had an older team, so, you're kind of that young guy, just no care in the world, really. Well,
and they love the young guys because they live vicariously. But unfortunately, in 2008, Colorado told you to ship it.
Yeah, I think they did a little bit. But you know what? I think it worked out great. It was honestly one of those things when LA called, I was like, thank God. Because I always envisioned myself playing in LA for some reason. And when it happened, I was honestly so pumped.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you went from Owen Sound to LA. Yeah. And you played 5 seasons there. You guys won a cup when you were there. You guys beat us out in the Western Conference Finals. Not cool, bro. Yeah,
it was our time, though. I mean, we were up at 3-0 in every series. So I think we just kind of got hot at the right time, and I'm sorry it happened to you guys, but it was a pretty historic run, and we had so much fun. It was insane.
This is where things get really interesting. So you guys win the cup, and celebrities everywhere. David Beckham.
Yeah, he came out with us the one night with the cup. We went to Beecher's Madhouse, and he stormed in with us with the cup and had a great night.
Wasn't he carrying it in?
I can't say everything. There's those moments where it was a cool experience being in LA. They've never won, and then all the celebrities that came out, like Will Ferrell's at every game, and all these. You kind of get a meet and greet after. They wanted to see us and party and hang out. It was just a cool experience, I think, for everyone. So some of those stories and some of the parties we got to go to, like Matthew Perry had a big party for us at his house after he won, and there were some cool experiences that obviously are kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
And I know you're dedicated to your health and fitness, and anywhere you get a chance to work out, you're going to chuck weights, and you did so at Leonardo DiCaprio's house.
Yeah, I might have been a little inebriated, though, at the time, but we went to a party with Kevin Conley and Leo DiCaprio. I don't know how we got mixed up in there, but it just kind of worked out, and then we ended up, he had an after party at his house. So we ended up in his gym somehow and started doing a full workout and just laughing and having the best time. But again, one of those nights it can never happen again, and one that I'll never forget.
All right, we've moved locations. A couple runners. We'll wait for you guys. You had a teammate, Jarrett Stoll, marries a beautiful Erin Andrews. You go to the wedding. and none other than who's there?
My favorite person maybe in the entire world, Larry David, was there. So that was a pretty cool experience. I got to sit at dinner with him the night before the wedding.
You and Teddy Purcell.
Yeah, so me and Teddy had a little, he loved it. We were just all over him the whole night, and he was in fine form. It was literally like you're in an episode of Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm. It was amazing.
Any one joke or story in particular he said that you just buckled on?
More at the wedding, and I actually videoed it. His jacket, he forgot to take the price tag off his jacket, so he ended up finding that at the wedding. And then we were waiting for Aaron to come down the aisle, and he's doing his shadow puppets in the thing. He's got his jacket over his head because he's bald and he doesn't want to get sunburnt, so he's got his jacket over his head. And she's coming down the aisle, and like, Larry, stop, he's on all the time.
Now we got to go shift back towards Vancouver. Enough celebrity talk. You played here for 2 years. What was your favorite part about playing in Canada?
I think it's just because every game meant so much. In Vancouver, there's a soccer team, but during the winter, it's pretty much all hockey here. And every game felt like it was a big game. There was usually a sold-out building, and you walk around town and people would kind of recognize you or want to talk hockey. So LA was a little bit like that, but obviously there's a lot of other stuff going on. Here it was kind of hockey, and that's it. So it was cool to experience that for a couple years.
And then you had to play with two of the great Swedish players of all time, the Sedin brothers.
Yeah. I mean, being in LA, we had so many playoff series against Vancouver, and you learned to kind of, you hated them so much because they were so good. But then when you play with them, it's probably the two nicest people you could ever meet, and I'm maybe the two smartest hockey players I've ever played with. Like, unbelievable watching them, how just the way they think the game, and I actually learned quite a bit from them.
We're going to have to touch on the Coyotes. You've been here now a couple of years, and you've been great this year. Really enjoyed watching you play. Talk about your time in Arizona.
It's been great. I mean, I love living in Arizona. It's kind of one of those places you kind of see yourself, settling down when you're done. It's just a easy place to live. Great for families, great for kids, and then just obviously the weather. You can't beat it. But being part of the Coyotes has been fun. I got to play with a guy like Shane Doan, who was one of those guys you always look up to. And then this year, obviously on a younger team. Now I'm kind of that older guy on the team and trying to show the guys the right way to do things and the right way to be at the rink, I think.
We've actually had Clayton Keller on, and he's been talking a lot about his golf game. And I know you're a very good golfer. Have you had a chance to match up against him?
Yeah, me and Martinook beat him, and I can't remember who he was playing with, maybe Fish. We beat them in like a team match, and then we beat him in a scramble actually at the start of the year too. I've never played him kind of straight on one-on-one, but he's a good player. He's really good.
Listen, I want to thank you for joining the show. This has been awesome. I'm still starstruck at your stories. This is probably going to be the most popular episode.
Yeah, I know you've never had any stories either, have you?
No,
not a one.
I just feed off you guys, man. I just like to take it all in.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun, Biss.